Jam, entertainment.
On May 8th, 2002, the Nuwaubians' land was raided by 300 federal and state law enforcement agents. The people who were present during the raid on the Nuwaubians' land were women, children, and a very few number of men. The agents held guns to the children's heads while screaming foul language and threatening to kill them. All of this has had an effect on the children, even unto this day.
But so I see vans coming down, and Mona was like, she was happy, couldn't get more dinner. And I had asked her, what was that? And I told her to look at it. And she said, get down. And I was like, why? She said, just get down. So we was all ducking down and getting how scared we was. Some kids were very scared. They was like, I wish I would die already.
Oh, they was patting us down as we left the door too. They patted us down. We had the man was by the side with the infrared on you as you walking down the stairs. You can see it as you walking down the stairs on your shirt. And I know I reached to grab my shoes, and the guy was like, don't move some movements. I was like, all right, so I was going down. We had to walk, and some people had no shirts on. They didn't let us grab our shirts, our shoes, nothing. They was patting us down and everything.
And their mother was telling them about people coming up with the guns. First thing I thought was two people with guns right when we come out the door there to shoot us. But it was different. It was better than that.
My mother went to the door and she yelled out, the door is locked. And they said, open the door. So my mother unlocked the door and she opened the door. When she opened it, they was pointing the gun right at my head. And they told me I was like mostly the youngest. I was only the only boy in there. So they told me while I was walking down the stairs, they was checking my pockets.
When I got out that house, people had guns pointed at us, checking our pockets and stuff. Like we have something, checking babies' pockets. Who would give their son a gun?
People would have to go use the bathroom. They walked to the bathroom watching them with a gun, inspecting them to use the toilet, and they didn't. So they said, never mind, I have to use the toilet, because they was going to sit there and watch them. And that's when we followed back in the living room. We asked to get our shoes. Somebody had to get some medicine, and then they wouldn't let them. And that's when, because somebody had a heart murmur, and they was like shaking real bad, so they had to get the medicine, but they didn't let them, and that's when they said they needed it real bad. So they had to walk them all the way in there, hardly could walk, and get their medicine, and then they had to drink it with no water. They didn't let them get no water. And we had to walk barefooted on the hot concrete, and they was eating our food, using our dishcloths to wipe their sweat and stuff like that. And they all put us in the temple. They was explaining what was going on. Sisters was asking questions. Those told them to shut up with the guns in their faces.
One by one, it was 6 of them, I think. Each of them, they had like a semi-automatic or automatic, one or two. But that's what they had, and some of them was pointed at us, and some of them wasn't.
I just saw look like cops. At first I thought it was cops, and and I just saw them pointing the guns as brothers in their hand, and a whole bunch of brothers putting their hands up and stuff. They got on the ground, and then I ran. I was like, yo, look. They got the brothers in the handcuffs and stuff. You know, and everybody else came through the windows.
One of the boys was out, he came up to us and said, hey, y'all, you know there's some people that got the brothers with their hands up. At first I thought he was joking, so I was like, why are you joking for? And he said, no, I'm not joking. And I realized that he wasn't joking about how serious his face was. So I went and took a look out the window. When I looked out there, I seen like four FBI cars riding up the hill.
I had hid under the bed, and I was scared. I felt like I was about to die. And then that's when they bust open our room door, and they was telling us to get, it was me, Lizzie under one bed, and the other bed next to ours was Lori and Eli under the other bed. And they told us to get from under the bed before they blow our brains out of our head. And that's when I was scared, so I got up slowly. Haig was telling us to get up slowly, put our hands in the air. They had the guns in our backs and in our heads, and I was shaking real bad. I was real scared.
We was getting our Bibles out to pray and stuff, and they snatched the Bibles out of our hands. Some people cried how hard they snatched it out their hands. Then they pointing guns up to babies' hands and heads and stuff. Then that's when I didn't see one handgun in that thing. I seen all shotguns and stuff like that. I didn't see one little sniper little thing. It was big guns. They did it to my sister, and my sister was about like 2 years old or something. And
I seen the boys by the tram down on their knees praying, and I saw Isa down on his knees praying, but he was crying. And then they told him to get up and go in the temple. Isa away. They took Isa away, and this old white lady, she went with Isa and sat down on the tram. And then my sister, my older sister, said that she was getting ready to cry, but once she saw when they took Isa away, and he haven't came back, she said, "Okay, I'm not crying." And then they was getting out handprints and stuff, and then they told us that 15 to 20 minutes later, he comes out with the picture. He comes out with the picture of all of us, and we didn't know that they was gonna take a picture of us holding that thing. They took a picture of all of us holding it.
Captured or not, but it was somewhere in Macon, and they took this lady asking this question to the camera saying, "Mr. York touch you anywhere? Was you ever alone with him in a room? Or did he show you different pictures of naked people?"
Yeah. If our parents ever abused us.
If parents ever abused you.
It was like something like you see on the news, like war in Iraq, people with the guns running in. That's how I basically seen it.
so they said on the count to 5, we're gonna bust the door down. And the next one, we were still trying to put our shoes on and stuff. And they wouldn't let us put our shoes on, so they busted the door on the count to 5. They busted it open, almost broke our door. Now I can't even lock it anymore. But the next one, we wasn't able to put our shoes on, slippers on, nothing. Some people had bare feet walking on rocks, on that very hot rocks. The next one, it was sunny outside, and they knew that I had a big sleeve shirt on, so I was suffering because I was very hot. And they had to stay out there for a long time.
Some people that have no slippers, they had to walk barefoot. They had no socks and stuff. After that, we went in the hot sun. We was sitting down on the ground, and one of them asked if we wanted to go in the temple, and people was like, no. And after that, they was like, okay, we're going to the temple. And people was like, can they get any water? And then it was like, no.
Some people had their slippers on, they wouldn't let them put their shoes on. One boy, he grabbed for his shoes, and they said no, they can't get it. So some people, they were walking on bare rocks, just barefooted. Some people just had slippers on and everything.
All of them had guns on them. They was wearing all black, yellow FBI thing, the hat and everything. Boots, regular, the regular gear that the agents wear. They had the face mask. Some had the face mask. So the person that busted our door, he had the face mask, and he was the first one that came in with the gun. There was 2 of them, just in case. I guess they started shooting or something. He had the gun and everything. 2 of them out the door, and that's when everybody was swarmed in. And they were like, "Wait, don't move!" Because we got up like scared. They just busted the door, and they ran through the door. Everybody was like, "Ah!" That's when I guess I kind of put them like, "No, don't move," because they know if we were doing nothing. A few people try to hide.
That it was like, what's going on? And that's when there was like, Mr. York is in jail and Kath Johnson, and then all of us just start crying in tears and stuff like that. They said because of molestation. We was like, molestation? He never molested nobody.